So much of what we take for granted in life that we understand, that we know to be true, is shaped by artificial sources of information. Things that things that were created by others to illustrate a point that they wanted to get across. Something that is emotionally moving, intellectually stimulating, but perhaps not entirely factually correct. Perhaps not something that we should take at face value. So much of what most people get regarding history, regarding politics, regarding religion, things that matter a great deal and are very complicated subjects. So much of that is informed by movies, television, fictional things on the internet. That kind of thing can really cloud the image that we need to see that describes these things for what they really are. If we are able to look beyond these things and look at the real sources of information as authentic and real as we can possibly get, everything is going to be inevitably clouded by a veneer of human input, of human impression, that nothing's going to be completely, totally objective. Very few things in life anyway. And so it's always a question of what's the best we can do, what's the best we can find, what can we find that will give us the best insight into a subject. With this in mind, it's worth noting that we can glean a great deal of useful information from fictional portrayals of real-world events and real-world subjects, and we can certainly look beyond the less than accurate aspects of those things. We can certainly learn a great deal about the world from things that are perhaps not completely factual, but we have to be willing to look deeper. We have to be willing to recognize that ultimately a great deal of these things is meant to emotionally manipulate, perhaps not in a malicious way, just simply in an entertaining way, in a way that's meant to engage the audience. But that emotional manipulation inevitably comes at a price. It does inevitably distort what truth there is within that piece of information, that piece of entertainment, that creation that is meant to portray something that has actually happened, but is not necessarily in and of itself an accurate depiction of reality.